Level Up Faith, Christian Video Game Ministry. I play video games for Jesus. Welcome to Level Up Faith, where gaming meets the gospel. Our mission is to create a vibrant community of gamers who share a passion for Christ and a love for video games. We believe that video games can be a powerful tool for spreading the message of Jesus, fostering fellowship, and encouraging spiritual growth. Our vision: connect, bringing together gamers from all walks of life to form a supportive and inclusive community centered around faith. Grow, providing resources, discussions, and events that help members deepen their relationship with God and grow in their faith. Serve, using our gaming skills and platforms to serve others, share the gospel, and make a positive impact in the gaming world. What we offer: weekly game nights. Join us for fun and fellowship as we play popular games together, build friendships, and share our faith. Bible studies. Dive into God's Word with fellow gamers through interactive and engaging Bible study sessions. Prayer support. Receive and offer prayer support within our community, knowing that you are not alone in your journey. Outreach events. Participate in special events and initiatives aimed at reaching out to the broader gaming community with the love of Christ. Whether you're a casual gamer or a hardcore enthusiast, Level Up Faith is here to help you level up your faith and your gaming experience. Join us on this exciting adventure as we game for God's glory.
All right, MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines, coming at you live from the Philippines, Angeles City, Clark City, Balibago, Pampanga, and all the surrounding area. I'm repping the whole neighborhood. What's going on, guys? How's life? We're back at it again with another epic, controversial live stream. China wants black babies, and CPS is coming after single mothers to meet global demand for children. Now, the first part is a little clickbaity. The second part is a little conspiracy theory of my own. All right. First part, that's just for clickbait and giggles. I don't know. China, but eventually it'll get to that point. Eventually it'll get to that point where China's like, we'll take black babies. Japan's already taken them. Japan don't care. They'll take anything at this point. Any color baby you want, they'll take it. But CPS is starting to come after single mothers to meet the global demand for children. Because of population decline, CPS is going to be ramping up their, what they do. All right, CPS is basically, it's a government legal organization that kidnaps children and then sells them to the highest bidder. Starts with a P, ends with a Diddy. I'm just saying. So we're going to see a lot of CPS ramping up because there's supply and demand. They got to stock up on kids. CPS has to stock up on kids right now because there's going to be a lot of demand in the near future. They're going to be selling. They're going global. It's not just going to be selling them to the P Diddies anymore. All right. CPS is going global. They are going to be kidnapping your kids to sell them to Japan, China. I mean, whoever has the most money, they don't care. They're not loyal to the government or the country. It's just business. It's just money. So whoever has the most money to pay for your bastard kids, they're going to be selling. I would recommend maybe start teaching your kids a little bit of Chinese because they might have a new Chinese mother and father in the near future because CPS is going to be cracking down because they need to get the supply up to meet the demand. They need bastard kids. All right, oops, wrong button. Let me read the scripture, guys, because man, I'm so thankful. Because when I was younger, I used to pray. I used to think about this and pray about this, and maybe everybody does this. Maybe every religious person kind of like thinks, is God going to let me see the day, right? Is God going to let me stay alive to see the day that the prophecies unfold, right? The prophecies come true. And this was the one, because I've been reading this Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 since I was a kid. Like God really just put this in my heart, just kind of nailed it into my heart, my spirit, this Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. So you got to imagine, as a kid, as a young person, you're in your 20s, you just got saved. And this isn't like a normal, this is how you know it's God, because it's not normal. It's not normal for a young person to be like obsessed with Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. It's not a normal thing, especially not even for a Christian. This is how you know God wanted me to see this. God wanted me to kind of obsess over this, right? So, and because I kind of had this obsession with Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, it became like, you got to ask God, like, am I going to see it? You know, am I going to get to see this come to pass? Like, am I going to be alive to witness this happen? And it's looking like I am, because I'm still breathing. And we are like so close, guys. So much stuff happening just in the past few years. I mean, I could go down the whole list again. I mean, honestly, when Roe versus Wade got overturned, that's when I knew. As soon as that happened, I knew. I was like, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 is like almost here. Like, that's the beginning. That was the beginning of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 coming to pass. I knew it in my heart. I knew it in my spirit. I was like, we're there. I'm going to see this happen. I'm going to be alive to see this happen. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome for me because I get to watch the show as a spectator, like knowing what's going to happen, but watching everyone else freak out about it, especially the Christians. The Christians are going to freak out the most about Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, because they're just going to be completely caught off guard. They have no idea what's coming and how drastically their lives are going to change because of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, and because of population decline. This is another thing that God kind of drilled into my heart when I was younger too, was like, I was starting to see, even way, way back in my 20s, when you see kind of relationships falling apart, marriages falling apart, and you try to, think long term, you're like, well, how is this long term going to affect our society? How is this long term going to affect our world? It's going to mean people aren't going to have babies because people don't want to be together no more. People don't like each other no more. Men and women can't get along. How the hell are they going to make babies? Yeah, exactly. The world is transforming in front of our eyes. Yeah, I mean, if you know the Bible prophecy, it's not something to be like afraid of. It's just it's something to enjoy. Enjoy the show, because I really want to enjoy the Christians freak out. They're going to be all over social media and YouTube making videos. Oh no, I can't believe the government's forcing us to take a second wife. Let me read the scripture for you guys before you guys think I'm crazy. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, 7 women, 7, will take hold of one man on that day, saying, we will eat our own food and wear our own clothing. Only let your name be given us. Put an end to our disgrace. We will eat our own food and wear our own clothing. This is going to start in the West, guys, because this is specifically describing westernized women, because Eastern women, right? Maybe Chinese women, they're kind of independent. They have their own money. But, for most of Southeast Asia, the women are not this independent. This is a Western thing. This is going to affect the West. This is where it's going to start. It's where it's going to hit the hardest, is in the West. And not that it's not going to hit Southeast Asia and the rest of the world. It's just not going to be as traumatic for them to adjust to as it's going to be for the Western women and the Western men, really. The men have more of a problem with this than the women do, because the men are afraid of not having the weak men are afraid of the alpha males getting all the women, and then the weak men won't have sex. That's why I always tell you, monogamy is actually rape. Monogamy is weak men banding together to force women to have sex with them and convincing women that that's what God wants for them. Yeah, God wants you to have sex with a loser ass dude. That's what God wants. Women of God. If you truly are a woman, a righteous woman, you do deserve a good man. I know that sounds like I'm simping, but just stay with me here for a little while. If you're a good woman, you're a good godly woman, you're a good submissive woman, you deserve the best man. But there's a 99% chance that that best man already has a woman. That doesn't mean you can't be with him. You can still be with him. You still deserve that man. But Christians and Christianity and weak men who are afraid of not getting sex force you through monogamy and then convinced you that this is what God wanted for your life. They've made you believe this lie. And this is why we have a lot of sexless marriages in Christianity, because the women didn't want to have sex with these men to begin with. They had to settle for these men. They had to settle for these loser fat men. Lost one viewer. Couldn't handle it. All right, let's get into, I think we're going to do CPS stealing kids first. Let me see. CPS stealing kids, is that what we're going to get? No, it's going to be CPS stealing kids or Southeast Asia stealing black men. Or no, just China in general. Asia in general, stealing black men. And they're doing it on purpose too, guys. They're going after these Asians, especially the Filipinos too. Like I noticed around here, they're starting to work out. They're starting to do squats. They're starting to try to get some junk in their trunk because they know that's what Western men like. They're not trying to be these like skinny little petite Asian girls anymore. They know that Western men want a big old booty. And they are in the gym doing the squats, guys. The Filipino girls are squatting in the gyms. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to get a butt. So the competition's getting even more stiff for these Western women. Because before, you had like some regular kind of really, there's still a lot of really petite girls here, women. They're grown women, but they're so petite, they look like they're underage. So you kind of have to ask, but like, you got to make sure. So, but I'm seeing a lot of them, especially the YouTuber girls and the influencers. They're in the gym. These Filipinos are doing the squats. They're trying to get the butt. They're trying to get the donk to attract the Western man. Black, white, brown, whatever. You women are screwed. You Western women who are like literally not doing anything to improve yourself. See, that's the difference between Asia, these Southeast Asian women, and the Western women. Asian women, especially the Filipinos here, are willing to put in the work to improve themselves. They're willing to look at themselves and, rationally judge their physical appearance, their beauty, and say, what do I need to do to make myself more attractive? Do I need to go into the gym? Do I need to go on a diet? And they're doing it. So yeah, you women are screwed. Because not only do we have submissive Filipinas who can cook. You got submissive Filipinas who can cook, who can clean, and don't mind doing it, actually love doing it. Now they're at the gym trying to get the curves. They're trying to get the badonk-donk, the birthing hips. It's the total package now, guys. Total package. Western women are screwed. All right, we're going to watch thick Asian ass taking market share from black women. Oh, gosh. It's true, guys. It's happening right before our eyes. I didn't even do a audio check.
Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. Got a video today from Passport OG. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. So yeah, Chow Time.
This beautiful Chinese woman has gained a lot of popularity on the internet because of her beauty. But unbelievably, she is considered a fat model in China. And you didn't hear wrong, because the fact...
Yep.
What is the average woman in America then?
Fact is that Yui Debao considers herself a plus-size model in China.
Plus size.
Have you seen the new Asian chicks now necessarily, right? In China, what they doing?
And they're all doing this, guys.
What? Okay, now we have the rise of the big booty Asian chick, bro.
Big booty Asian chicks.
I mean, there has been some big booty Asian chicks, but I guess it is on the rise now,
Toast.
considering a lot of Asians,
Cooked.
especially here in America, Asian Americans,
Western women are
definitely
cooked.
go over that Botox, plastic surgery
You
thing.
can't compete.
Bro, you gotta.
You can't compete. Look, this woman right here, even if this woman didn't cook and clean, if she didn't do nothing but just stand there and look like this, she could have any one of your Western men that she wanted. Anyone. And you add in cooking and cleaning on top of that, and slop top daily, no complaints. You don't even got to ask for slop top sometimes. Because they know. These women know. You know, as a wife, you just don't want to do it. These Western women know, but they just don't want to do it. Again, they don't have to because there's no accountability. Church doesn't hold them accountable for nothing. Church says you don't have to have sex with him just because you're married. That's grape. That's marital grape. Only Christian beta male cucks made that crap up. There was no marital grape in the Bible, guys. Let me do audio check here real quick. Audio check. Am I coming in? All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. When they're actually the ones graping. See, it's projection. I always tell you guys, these Christian men are mentally transgender. They're projecting that if you as a married man want to have sex with your wife who doesn't want to have sex with you, you have graped her. When in actuality, these weak beta male cuck Christian men who can't get women other than forcing them through monogamy are the ones committing the grape.
Necessarily in the private chat right there as it's a Instagram video, right? But literally now we have I'm gonna call them the new built Asians, right? It's the Koreans and the Asian chicks, basically. I don't know if you ever seen Koreans, but
before this video gets started, I want to make two disclaimers. The first is that I have something in common with Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like big butt. The second disclaimer is that there will be some
I'm a chesticle kind of guy, but I can't say no to butts.
several references to an A word that's represented by the peach emoji often in pop culture, something that, again, I'm quite fond of. And about this, if you're a quote-unquote XY Gen Xer or younger from the West,
I gotta say, I'm with Passport Pops.
You are well aware, of course, this is called body positivity, but it goes under a variety of names, including the celebration of Lizzo. And
is this cake? No, it's not. Oh, it's
What? Did they just make a cake soap up for her? I mean, when you like to eat, you get to lounge and eat at the same time.
And there was no planned price.
Unbelievably, she is considered a fat model in China. And you didn't hear wrong, because the fact is that Yue Debao considers herself a plus-size model in China. But the fact...
I first came across Yue Debao flipping through social media, and I thought nothing more than just, oh, she's a relatively attractive, thick Chinese woman that looks very good walking.
Dang.
But
it's true.
Look at all these. Look at all. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 guys thirsting. 10 guys thirsting. 10 black men, or maybe different colors. I don't know, because they don't have pictures on there. But still, it's a black show, so I'm assuming they're all black men. Thirsting. So black women, I don't know what y'all gonna do. You can't compete. There's no way you can compete with this. They already got kind of like a little Asian fetish. Look at this fair skin. Look at this long, straight black hair. Oh, that's her hair. That's another thing too. Especially when it comes to black women. No man wants a woman without her own hair. Look at this silk. This is some straight silk. This is the hair that black women buy, by the way, to put on their heads. Dang, I'm going to get in trouble for that one. I might get in trouble.
truly already
completely
over.
over.
It's
Well,
already over with.
The first thing I noticed looking at you is
Black women losing market share on ads. That was a good one.
Abal's TikTok page was the underwhelming number of views on it. For a young lady that is as attractive as she is, I would expect her to have at least tens of
What? I get more views than this. And I'm a nobody with no assets. This woman has amazing assets.
thousands of views, but she only has some 20,000 followers. Maybe it's because she's in the West doing the TikTok page, and some say that she has millions of followers in China. That said, it speaks to a disparity in what maybe young Asian men
And this is China, by the way. If this is what Chinese women are doing, what do you think Filipino women are doing? What do you think Thai women are doing? Japanese women, South Korean women, Malaysian, Laos, Bangladesh, I don't know what, Cambodia. This is just one. This is one example. This is one extreme example of the perfect female form. But they're all doing it because they all got to compete with each other. And Western women, they done lost the game. The game's over. Not only did they lose the game, they lost all the men. Now the government is throwing them away. Now the government is saying no more child support, no more food stamps, no more Section 8, no more child tax credit, income tax return. What else? What else did they take away from you guys? They took everything away from women. You know why? Because they're in breach of contract for not making babies.
and find as attractive.
Hey. I like a big booty. I also cannot lie.
And this might be part of the reason why a young lady like her is struggling, when you can see very clearly in Western TikTok and social media that there are young ladies that are, in my opinion, not
Subpar.
a third as attractive, that are getting a lot more attention. And that speaks to the disparity that men can exploit when we travel, because young ladies like this don't get the kind of attention that they might get in a more, dare I say, accepting area of body positivity.
See what he's saying right there? See what he's saying? And you know why these women are not getting this much attention? Is because she's not the only one. See, in America, when you got these little OnlyFans girls, these OF girls, you got these cam girls, whatever, they're very few and far and in between when it comes to real life, like everyday real life. You go outside in America, all you see is fat single mothers everywhere. Morbidly obese women all over the place, just weird shaped women, you know, things that don't even look human anymore. She looks like a sack of pennies. She looks like a sack of potatoes. You know, they got a front butt. So these actually attractive women in America, like even at church, you see this in Christian churches too. Like there's like one kind of like it's not that she's attractive. It's just that she's less ugly than the other girls, right? It's not even that she's like a 10. You know, she's just like a 5'4" among all the rest of the other church girls, and all the guys will be kind of like Googling her and be like, oh, she's so hot, she's so fine. It's like, she's not really that hot. She's just hotter than the other girls are so unattractive that it makes her ugly kind of look bearable. You know, it's like being a sailor on a ship and you haven't seen a woman in months. That's what America is when it comes to like everyday life. You walk outside and you're just like, oh gosh, there's nothing attractive to look at. You go to the store, you're looking around, trying to just see, is there any attractive women here? There's just not. But the reason why these women in Asia don't get the same attention that those, you know, that one woman in Target in the yoga pants is getting is because they're a dime a dozen. They all look like that. Well, maybe not this one. Like I said, this is an extreme example, but they're all attractive. You go outside and every single woman is attractive. So the competition is so much stiffer. Pun intended.
The fact is
And
that
just like he said, this is what men can exploit when it comes to women, especially in Asia, on this side of the world, is that there's so many attractive women. There's just so many that they have to compete for your attention. And you, as a man, especially if you're not a good man, you can exploit that. You can make them work for it. And I mean work.
Yui Bao considers herself a plus-size model in China.
You gotta, what I'm telling you, bro, it's starting to get scary out here. Because when I start going into like the rabbit hole on Instagram, and you start looking out
Zulu,
here,
wait a minute,
like,
wait a minute, Zulu, wait a minute.
Message. As anyone watching this channel knows, I have a very strong affinity for Mr. Z Black in Effect. And the panel that he had this past weekend, the first one was absolutely masterful. There is a second part that I would like for you to listen to because it's 10, 20 times more important than this part. But this part was the juicy stuff. And you're going to see why.
I'm saying, you're saying something right now. You're saying something right now.
Hey,
Go ahead.
A big booty Asian is a problem.
that is a weapon.
Why is it a problem?
That's a weapon.
That is a weapon for
That is a weapon.
that weapon will.
Hey, listen.
In my opinion, the
That
chief
is a
fallacy
weapon.
in the
When it comes to the war, see, right? You guys think the next war isn't going to be bullets and bombs. It's going to be babies. We're going to be going into, with population decline, we're entering into a baby war. Countries are going to be competing with each other to get their populations up. And one of the ways they're going to be doing that is trying to entice men from other countries to come to their. Japan's already doing it. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up. It's not like I'm being like just saying crazy stuff. You know, if Japan wasn't already doing it, then, you know, or maybe a few years ago, you could just call me crazy, even though I was saying this years ago. I was saying countries are going to be competing for male sperm donors. They're going to be paying you guys. Japan's already offering men, you know, like all kinds of benefits to go there and impregnate their women. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to start seeing it with all these other countries. Korea's struggling. China's struggling. Let's see. China's... You might think China's not struggling, but what happens is when you have such a massive population, you need to maintain that because you've built a massive, you know, infrastructure, massive economy. So you have to keep those massive population numbers up to keep the whole thing going. How do you like them thick Asian ladies? You know, I'm still in the kind of like, I still prefer a petite woman. Honestly, I'm not really that much into the big butts. Rachel has been doing some squats, so her butt has been getting a little bit bigger. So it's not, it's the, I don't like, if the body just doesn't look normal, right? Because a lot of these women, everything looks a little misproportioned. Now, I mean, most guys don't care about that, but I like the body to be kind of, like she can have a big butt, but does it look like it belongs to her? You know, with me, everything has to be in proportion. So I still prefer a petite woman. And because I also think long-term about these things too, because you got to think like, especially if you're gonna, maybe if you're not in a committed relationship with that person, doesn't matter. But if you're, you know, planning to spend the rest of your life with that person, you might think about how that's going to look when she's 60 and her butt's dragging on the floor. Just saying. Or like these guys who are into big boobs. I'm like, no. Have you seen old ladies with big boobs? Oh my, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Yeah, they are. That's actually sad. That is a sad reality for them. They are considered fat. And because the beauty standards here are just so much higher than there are in the West. Like I said, it's because all the women are attractive. So the beauty standards have to be higher. The competition is so much harder, stiffer for them. They have to compete for your attention. They have to compete for male attention. So not like in the West, where this is what monogamy does in the West too, is it kind of pairs everybody off, whether they want to be or not. So there's no like, you don't have to work. Like you don't have to work to impress a man, or a man doesn't really have to work to impress a woman. That's why they have these like fat guys in church that are married to these church girls, because those church girls didn't have an option. Through monogamy, they don't have an option to be with the alpha guy who's buff and has a good job. Everything that they want, that these women want, the 6 figures, the 6-pack, the 6 inches, the 6 feet tall, that is taken away from them through monogamy. Monogamy says, no, you can't be with the 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 inches, 6-pack guy, because he already has someone. So you have to choose from these broke fat losers. This is why I keep saying monogamy is rape. It's weak men gathering together to ensure their access to sex. Yeah, the 666. Well, it's 4 6s, so that makes it not demonic. It's the 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, and 6 inches. They like those baby arms. Nice baby arm. Don't try and go up in, especially if she's a single mother. If she's a single mother, don't think your 4.5 inches is going to be doing anything to her. Okay, it's not. You average guys, you average penis guys with the 4.5 inches, 333 in Angeles. Yeah. 3 feet. If you're 3 feet, you're like, you and her are the same height. She might be taller than you. I think we can bump it up to 4'4". 4 feet. No, you got to be a minimum 5 feet here. I would say 5 feet. Like it doesn't matter. You'll find somebody no matter what, but you might just have to shop around a little bit more. But there are some morbidly obese men here who have like very petite women. I mean, me and Rachel and I laugh about it all the time. We see like these fat guys with these really skinny Filipinos, and I'm like, he must be crushing her when they're having sex. Like, or maybe she's on top all the time. I don't know. She just rides that thing like a wild bull. All right, let's get into CPS is stealing kids to meet global demand. CPS is cracking down on 3K, 3 minutes, 3 inches. Where have you been? Have you been to Angeles City? How do you know this? How do you know the math? It's not 3K. It's 3. If you're paying 3K, you're paying too much. I'm telling you right now. In Angeles City, they're going to ask for 3K, but that doesn't mean you have to pay 3K. Hey, what do you think about the airplane crashes? Oh, you think it's conspiracy or what? Is that what you're implying? What do I think? I haven't actually, like, I heard about it, but I didn't really. Well, that one that just happened. That was like, didn't they have female pilots? The helicopter had female pilots, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really I've been kind of busy doing my own thing, like just kind of ignoring what's really happening in the world. I've been like playing video games and making YouTube videos and working. So as far as I know, I think, yeah, they were female pilots. So I mean, that kind of explains that one. That doesn't have to really be a conspiracy theory. Oh, yeah. So yeah. I mean, I just don't want to say it out loud. Yeah, but you're probably right. It's the beginning. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't think they would have to go to that extreme to scare people from traveling. They could just make another fake pan, or they could just drive you know, air flight prices through the roof to where the normies wouldn't be able to afford it. There's just so many other ways they could do it. That's why I don't think that they would be trying to scare people from not that that's gonna I don't think that's gonna scare anybody. Especially if you're like a passport bro and you got nothing to lose anyway. So I mean, so yeah, and the thing about that, like always when we talk about females in these very important jobs, like female doctors or female pilots, that's a job where people's lives are at stake, right? If it was a man, see, men know that they're going to be held accountable. Men know if I make a mistake, I'm going to be held accountable, especially like doctors, pilots. March and April, I'd still pay 2,000. Yeah, I've seen the cheapest I've seen it is about 1,200. No, actually, my ticket was 900. So the cheapest I've seen it was 900, but the average is about $1,400 for a flight to Asia, Southeast Asia. Yeah, but people will still pay it. They'll still do whatever they have to get their freedom, to get the hell out. That's why I'm saying those walls, the border is not there to keep people out. It's there to keep people in. That's why Trump wants to make Canada part of the United States as well, so that when people try to run to the Canada to get out, well, you're still in the United States. That's why they didn't put a border. That's why they didn't build walls in Canada. They only built them in the South. They didn't need to build walls in Canada because they already got a plan in place to make Canada part of the United States. But I can see a lot of people trying to go, because you got to think America's very diverse, especially with the Hispanic culture. So even the white people, like, they probably have some Hispanic friends, some people they work with, and they could say, hey, look, can I just go to Mexico and get a flight out from Mexico? So that's why they gotta like seal up them borders to keep the American people from trying to go down south to get their flights out of the West. Because I mean, we could see that too when Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 gets fully completely implemented, and the government is forcing polygamy. We're going to see a lot of Christians losing their minds, flipping out about that. So they're going to want to leave the country as well when they're forced into polygamous marriages, because they love their one wife more than they love God. So there's going to be a lot of that. Americans, weak beta males trying to escape because they don't want to take a second wife and things like that. It would just be easier just to take a second wife. Like, it's not unbiblical. So it's not like the reason the government can enforce it is because they're not doing anything unbiblical. If they were doing something unbiblical, God would not allow them to enforce it. So I believe March and April are going to be crazy worldwide. But why? What's going on in March and April? Tariffs? Didn't Trump already pause the tariffs because everybody started freaking out? All right, let's get into the show, guys. Let's get into the show. And there's so much I don't know, I've been out of the Christian loop for a little while, so there's like all these new pastor scandals coming out. I don't even know who these people are anymore. All right, here we go. CPS is stocking up on kids to meet global demand, cracking down on single mothers, because we know, in the manosphere that you can be like, you basically have to walk into court with a crack needle in your arm as a single mother in order to get your children taken away from you. We know how difficult it is to get your children taken away from you as a single mother. You like literally have to be high on crack while you're in the court for them to be like, well, and even then they're kind of reluctant about it. You know, they're like, well, I don't know if we really want to like take our kids away. I mean, maybe she can get off the crack. Ma'am, if you could just get off. And that's the thing too. When they do take these women's kids away, it's only temporary until they like sober up from the crack. So it's like, ma'am, we're going to have to take your kids away for like 2 or 3 months while you go to rehab and get off the crack, and then we'll give your kids back to you. Guys. Once a crackhead, always a crackhead. I mean, all things are possible with God, but not with crackheads. All things are possible with God, but not with crackheads. That is funny. Somebody needs to put that on a shirt. All things are possible with God, but not with crackheads, guys.
Salute to the MABW team. I'm back with another video.
Salute.
Somebody called CPS on her. And before we start this video, this is what I want to say to the
Somebody
women
called
out there with children.
CPS. See, and this is the only reason why CPS even go. Like, you have to be reported. The world map would look a lot different in 10 years' time. America will be all Canada and Mexico, South America, and Greenland. Yeah. That's why I really, the Bible says, come out from among her, my people, so that you will not be partakers in her sin. And you really got to put an ocean between you. You got to put an ocean between you and the West, because even these passport bros going down to like South America, thinking they're going to find a unicorn there, you're not. It's just too close. If these women know that they can, the hope of them going to America is just still too high for them. So they start to act in the culture, like the Western culture has just already completely kind of infected South America and the women there. So you got to put an ocean between you. If you really want to get away from all that nonsense and that mess and that, feminism and matriarchy and homosexuality, just all that mess, you got to put a whole ocean between you. So, and like I said, if the Bible says, come out from among my people so that you will not be partakers in her sin. This is very offensive, but very clear that God is saying your presence there alone, whether you agree with it or not, you're guilty by association. That's why you got to leave. I mean, we see this with Sodom and Gomorrah. When the angels had to go get Lot out, they had to get him out because he was going to die with everybody. God wasn't going to spare his life. I mean, he did, but only because Abraham prayed, and then the angels said, if you don't leave, you will die with these people. See, the choice was Lot's. The angels came and warned him, but he had to make the choice, and we saw what happened to his wife as well. His wife looked back, boom, she's gone. Because her heart wasn't right. She didn't really want to leave. She liked them homosexuals. She loved them. She loved them gays. That's probably why Lot was there too, by the way. Lot was probably in Sodom and Gomorrah because his wife. Because she was saying, I like living here. It's nice here. I like all these homosexuals. They're nice. And these weak beta males, we see them in Christian churches today, just sitting there nodding. Whether they really agree with it or not, they just go along with the crowd because, they don't want to screw up the chance of them getting their once a year birthday sex. So they're willing to go to hell for once a year birthday sex. Yeah, people would die that don't follow new. I don't think people are going to die. I think they're just going to have it's going to be a difficult adjustment period. You know, it's going to be very, very well. I mean, people adapt. Like, I mean, look at it's gonna happen fast. What the West is gonna do, it's like what they do with the SWAT team, what they train the SWAT team, what they train these Navy SEALs to do. You got to do everything fast so people are taken by surprise, and by the time they realize what's going on, it's already done. And we see that in The Handmaid's Tale too. When you've watched The Handmaid's Tale, just watch the very first episode. You see how it says in The Handmaid's Tale that it basically all happened in one day. In one day, the government went in, took all the women out of their employment and their jobs and everything, and just rounded up all the fertile women. And that's probably what the Pokey Poke might have been about too, was to find out which women are fertile and which women are infertile, or to like make like the women who didn't get the Pokey Poke, they already know those are the fertile ones, and the ones who got the Pokey Poke, they know those are the infertile ones. So they're going to, round up those women, make them go work in the salt mine. And then the ones, because I'm sure they have a record of everyone who got poked and who didn't get poked. And so they're going to go get the women who didn't get poked, and they're going to take them off to their little government birthing facilities. We see this in The Handmaid's Tale, where they basically train them to be concubines. So they train them to be concubines. They're basically maids plus concubines, which is what a concubine would have been in the Bible anyways, basically like a maid, a house servant. They probably would have started off as a slave and, just doing chores around the house. And then the husband says, hey, I kind of want to bang her. So then she gets upgraded to concubine. So we see that in The Handmaids, where they take all the women to the government facilities, they train them on how to be a good concubine, and then they ship them out to the man that is going to impregnate them. But like I said, what happens is that they did it so fast that people didn't have time to react to what was really happening until it was kind of already done, and they just had to accept it at that point. There wasn't no time for them to like rally together and we're going to protest and all that bullshit.
Stop documenting and detailing your whole life online. Let's get right into the damn video.
CPS is in my home. So yeah.
She's cool, calm, and collective. CPS is in her home and she ain't even tripping. She's like, this ain't even the first time. I done dealt with this before. How bad of a, it's pretty hard to get CPS to show up once. Because they are, I know they have to like meet their quotas and kidnap enough kids to sell them, but they're still government employees, which, we know government employees are kind of lazy. I have seen Japan and Singapore about years ahead of the world. Most of the royal countries or elite, very advanced too. Yeah, Singapore for sure. I don't know about Japan, but Singapore for sure. Singapore's kind of like this tiny little country everybody forgets about. So they're just doing their own thing, hoping nobody pays attention to them. They're like, don't look over here. We're not doing nothing. They're blasting off. They're already colonizing Mars. And look at their architecture in Singapore. They build everything like they're already living on Mars. It looks like a sci-fi movie over there. I would actually want to go to Singapore, but I think I don't know for sure, but it looks expensive. It might not be, but it looks expensive. But yeah, their architecture is very sci-fi over there. Like, I don't need that. It looks like them buildings. They build them buildings like kind of like the buildings like this. What is that? And then this part, remember on Star Trek when the front part comes off? It looks like that. They build their buildings like the top part's about to blast off, or it could potentially if they needed it to. Yeah, we're just gonna blast this thing off. Remember on Star Trek when that happened for the first time and you were like, holy crap, I didn't even know they could do that. Check out the line in Saudi Arabia. All right, I'll check it out. Send me a link or something.
I already knew this was going to happen.
She already knew this was going to happen.
Is it on me?
What time is it? I got to do work, guys. How did they let her even set up a camera? CPS is in her house. Oh, there's the baby. Oh my God, look at the baby. It looks sad. I hope CPS sells her to some good people.
Okay, so I have some policy questions that I'll ask, and then I'll discuss why I'm here.
Mhm.
And I just have to ask every one of these questions.
They let her set up a camera and everything. What is going on with CPS? Since when do government employees, officials take the time? Yeah, we're just going to sit here and waste time while you set up your camera to live stream. This is CPS. These are the people who steal your kids. And it has to be, they have to be this dumb to steal kids. You have to understand that there's a certain kind of like mentality that you have to work for the government. That's why only women can work for the government. Because men would just be like, I'm not stealing these people's kids. What's wrong with you people? This is bad. Women will be like, well, you're not that about y'all.
Yes.
May I ask where?
On YouTube. I'm a content creator.
She's a content creator.
Probably where this bull crap is coming from.
That's where this bull crap is coming from, guys.
So they asked her if she was employed. She said, yes, she was employed on YouTube. She's a content creator. She currently is sitting at about 14, almost 15,000.
Dang, this right here got 15,000 followers. Your pastor can't get 15,000 followers, but she got 15,000 followers making videos with CPS showing up at her house. Wow. She got 15,000 followers. Yeah. Yeah, they know who they work for. They know they work for daddy. That's their daddy. That's why they all want to work for the government. They're always talking about how great it is. Having a government job is good, benefits and blah, blah, get all these days off. And they love their daddy, their worldly daddy. That's all right. It's about to come back and bite them in the ass. It's already coming back. I already took away their Roe versus Wade, taking away their food stamps. She taking away their Section 8. She about to get her kids taken away. They're going to sell her kids. Hopefully they sell them to nice people. Because not everybody that, that CPS sells your kids to is bad people. I mean, if you have enough money, good people could buy kids too. There might just be some good people out there who are just rich and just want some kids and have a happy family. Maybe they just want to add a black kid to their collection like Angelina Jolie.
$14,800. So I just want to be clear that y'all know this right off the rip, okay?
Oh no.
Do you have a religious preference?
Why the hell?
Araya has several.
Why the hell would CPS care if you have a religious preference? What? Who are these people? Is this even CPS? I would be scared. She's not scared. I would be terrified. Not only does CPS show up to your house, they're asking you all these weird questions like, what is your religious preference? Like, why do you need, are you going to, like, she's going to disappear. They're about to disappear her. And they just want to know which church to send her to. They are going to disappear this woman after they kidnap her kids because they don't want her getting upset that they kidnapped her kids and sold them to somebody else. So they're going to disappear her, put her in a box, and send her to, St. Baptist Cathedral, whatever church she goes to. I don't know. Full of holy water saints, neighborhood, blessing God every day, seminary. I don't know. These churches have some long ass names.
Does she have any other conditions?
Quadriplegic.
She's a quadriplegic.
Can I have her pediatrician information?
I'll talk to him. Take electronics.
Is Araya seeing any therapist or specialist?
She see her people in school. She don't see. She don't. Oh, she got therapy and stuff at her school. So, you know.
Does she have a caregiver?
I'm a caregiver. I don't need nobody coming in here trying to take care of my kids. They asked me since she was born, do I need extra help? And I don't know how to take care of a baby.
Okay. And a couple more things, and then I'll talk about the allegations. Do you have someone that I can contact to speak to regarding you as a parent outside the home?
Yeah, a few people.
I'll just take a name and a number.
Oh wait, it's in this.
Check of your home. It's called a home assessment. So all I need to see is food,
That's fine.
water, and where she's at. So
Oh, the allegations is about Araya.
I'm about to read it to you.
Oh, okay. See, I knew y'all. Oof.
I just want to explain to you that, like, when I just
I'm used to this. They've been in my comments since I've been on YouTube talking about her calling CPS, all this type of crap. So you can go right ahead. I knew
her or the people that watch her have been in her comments talking about her daughter since she's been on YouTube. So obviously the people that watch you put your business out there, put your life out there, they feel that something isn't right, or they have some concerns about you as a mother with your daughter. And that's why I will continue to tell people, stop letting everybody into your life or detailing your whole life when you have children, like putting your children on camera, going on these, going to these wild places. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but some people use their children for views and clicks, detailing their whole life.
what's for Araya.
So this is what I have. Talea is the mother of Earl, 12, and Araya, 5.
He ain't 12. Araya just turned 5. Okay.
Who is Earl?
My son Cleveland. His middle name is Earl. Yeah, they don't even know that on YouTube. Talking about Earl. You don't even know how to report a name.
This is what I have. Araya has cerebral palsy and is wheelchair bound and nonverbal. Araya relies 100% on assistance from the caretaker.
No, she doesn't.
Araya arrived to school visibly sick.
She doesn't. She's a quadriplegic.
101. Talea was contacted but was unable to come get Araya as she stayed in school.
Oh, this is from the school.
Dang, no, it wasn't from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
The school.
So it's the school who called CPS on Araya.
See, yeah, because the government wouldn't care about some randos calling CPS, some YouTube randos. They'd be like, we don't have time for that. We got serious. So if the school calls, then they take it seriously, because that's their sister, it's a government school. If the government's calling the government's gonna answer the phone. But if you call the government, they ain't got time for you.
Araya hasn't had a visible cold. I got cameras in the house. Araya was the only one who didn't get no medicine, who wasn't sick. She got sick when the school called me and said, or texted me and said her nose got green stuff in it. She got a fever. I said, oh, that's new. We all been sick. Cold's clearing up. She ain't never had a cold.
Okay, let me finish reading it.
And she said she wasn't in school for 10 days.
Now, the CPS worker said she can't confirm or deny if the allegations were straight from the school. Lady, that means that this could have came from anyone. Don't blame the school. You might not want to blame the people that watch you either.
It's from the school. They just don't want her to go back to the school and start acting crazy.
It could have came from anyone. Obviously, someone has concerns about your daughter. Okay?
I'm gonna finish it. I'm just reading.
These white people get on my nerves.
These white people get on my nerves.
That's old.
They're stealing the kids. All right. This is why I'm not talking and actually paying attention, because since when does CPS come to your house because your kids got a cold? Guys, Even if your kid was missed school for 10 days, 2 weeks for a cold like this, maybe you have the flu. The flu takes about a week or two to clear up, like, completely. You might be well enough to do things and go outside and play, but you're still kind of like a little bit sick, So this is how you know they're stealing kids. It's a cold. Now I'm gonna maybe I'm missing something because we haven't listened to the whole thing here. So maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions here a little bit too quick. But never in my life have I ever seen anyone CPS show up because somebody's kid has a cold. The school called them and told CPS that the kid had a cold. So what happened? This is what the school does. So the school is basically an agent for CPS. They're kind of scoping out which kids might be potential for good kidnap potential. Like the mother's a piece of shit, like this one. So they'll say, hey, look, the mother's a piece of shit. You guys can just go in there, take this kid, and no one's going to do anything about it. No one's going to say anything. Right? So we're just going to say she had a cold and maybe she was neglected. The mother didn't really take good care of her while she was having a cold. But there's not much you can do for your kids while they have a cold. I mean, you can take them to the doctor, get some medicine, get some antibiotics, give them some soup, some juice. But for the most part, you just got to kind of ride the thing out, right?
It says Earl is constantly putting Araya on the bus for school.
While I stand right there.
Some occasions, Earl has presented disheveled, apologizing for being late with Araya, and he was unable to get her cleaned and changed. The concerns is that Earl is serving as a caregiver for Araya. Araya's clothes are dirty, soaked. Her wheelchair will be soaked.
Look, I didn't catch that. To get straight to the point.
Dang. Okay, so that's what it is. It's not the cold. It's the fact that they're realizing that the mother isn't taking care of her at all. It's her brother taking care of her. Okay, so maybe they're not stealing the baby, but still, I don't know if this is something the government, CPS, would really care about. Like, really, CPS only shows up for some sort of like physical abuse or sexual abuse, something like that. And I'm sure they got plenty of those cases going on, especially with all the Christian stuff. Church is getting exposed every day, man. Every day. Last year it was like, once a month a new church was getting exposed. Now it's every day a new church is getting exposed.
Apologizing for his sister being soiled or being late to school and looking disheveled sometimes. Her brother, who's maybe 12 or possibly 13 years old, the little kid is apologizing for that. Obviously, there's something that someone is seeing on the outside or watching her life on YouTube play out, and they're concerned about it. And now she's coming on YouTube mad because someone called CPS on her. And I honestly think the last thing you should be doing is recording your conversation to put online for views and clicks that you have with CPS. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, she's recording this like she's going to catch CPS doing something wrong. And probably the reason they let her record is because they're like, she about to tell on herself. They're like, yeah, go ahead, put that recording on. We want the whole world to see that we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. And you about to be putting yourself on blast. You ain't putting CPS on blast.
That's just my opinion. Everybody doesn't need to know every detail about your life. They just don't. But some people out here, they do anything for views, clicks, and their audience. Me, I'm not one of them type of dads that want to put my kids online. I want to let my kids be kids and actually grow up. Y'all have fun while daddy get busy online and take care of everything. Y'all go have fun. I'll provide for my kids and let them be kids. Go ride their quads, go ride their bikes, play in the street and chill out. They don't, y'all be detailing y'all life with y'all kids and think that.
She's 20 pounds.
That ain't my fucking problem. She 20 pounds, but dirty and what?
The concerns is that Araya is not getting adequate nutrition in the home. Overall, there are concerns that Araya and Earl are being neglected.
Man, they can kiss
That's not my problem. She's 20 pounds.
my big ass.
Oh, dang. She just told CPS they can kiss her big ass. Yeah, that's the mom I want raising my kids. Now, it's like I said, when I saw the little girl, I don't even feel bad that CPS is kidnapping her. I just hope they give her, like, they sell her to a good, some good people. So CPS does need to, I mean, honestly, most of these kids, CPS probably does need to kidnap and save them from their bad parents, but they need to sell them to good people and not predators. But, they don't care. Whoever has the money, you could be a predator and you could buy a kid from CPS. Yes, that's true, sir. That is very true. The government and the church are in line with each other, both corrupt, always been that way. Always, just from like Rome and the Jews. Always, but even more so now. I think even back in Bible days, like kind of the Jews hated Rome, right? Like they pretended to be okay with them, but you could tell there was like this undertone, like they were like frenemies, So back then it was still a little bit more like, yeah, they were kind of in cahoots together, but they didn't like each other. Now the church loves the government. They're best friends. They're butt buddies. That's why there's so much homosexuality in the church, because the government, when the government approved the gay marriage, the church went gay. When the government said, hey, shut down because of the PD, the pandemic, the church shut down. Then the government told the pastors to tell everyone, hey, go get the pokey poke. Everybody went to go get the poke. Everyone went to go get the pokey poke. And that's why it's so important for the government to be balls deep in the church, because the dum-dums in the church, they trust the pastor. They don't trust the government. No one trusts the government anymore. But they still trust that pastor. They still think that pastor who's diddling women in the church, diddling underage girls in the church, they trust that guy. They trust that guy. So if that guy says, hey, go get the poke, they go get the poke. Don't even question it. Don't even use any like reasonable thinking. And you know why? It's because they don't read their Bible. They don't read the Bible. They don't have the Holy Spirit to give them any discernment. You know what happened? Let me just tell you what God told me when the poke happened, or how God gave me discernment. When they laid everyone off and they paid, and the government was paying everyone to stay at home, that's all the discernment I needed to know. Like that told me everything. You know what that told me? I'm going to tell you what that told me. When they paid everyone to stay home and not go to work, because the people who were still working, the companies were forcing them to get the poke, right? But the devil can't do anything without God's permission or without your permission. That is why the government had to pay everyone to stay home from work. Because if they went to work, the company was going to force them. And the devil can't force you. So when the government started paying everyone to get the poke, that's when I knew this is some demonic stuff. Because even the devil, even the government knows their boundaries when it comes to God. They know what they can and cannot do with God. They know what God will and won't allow them to do. So they had to give you that choice. They had to give you that option. And yeah, they got a few dum-dums to still go. They knew they were going to get a lot of dum-dums to still go get the poke. So they didn't care. They didn't care about paying everyone to stay home. And like the few, MAGA supporters who were going to be like, I'm not getting the poke. They didn't care about those guys. They didn't care about those guys. And probably the poke is probably sexually transmitted as well. We don't know that. That's my other conspiracy theory. Because I had a dream about that too. God gave me a dream that the poke was going to be like, transmitted from one person to another. So if you've been with someone who got the poke, you probably have some kind of, it may not be as strong as they have it, but you have some strain of the poke inside you if you've had like sexual contact with someone who got the poke. So they knew they were eventually going to get everybody. I'm pretty sure like they developed this whole plan, right? The powers that be, the superpowers that control the world, developed this whole plan to get everybody vaxxed. And they didn't think that, hey, maybe some people were going to not get it. You think they didn't think about that? You didn't think they'd have a backup plan for that? Come on. That thing is sexually transmitted. I guarantee you, some kind of way, you sneezed on somebody, you know, you did some freaky deaky stuff with somebody, and you got some poke inside you. You poked somebody who had the poke, and you got some poke. But that's just my conspiracy theories and, you know, just what God revealed to me, because the devil can't do nothing without your permission. That's why the government is so, that's why they take their paperwork so seriously. Because whenever you're signing paperwork, government paperwork, what you're doing is you're giving them permission. You're giving the devil permission to do whatever he wants in your life. That's why the marriage license is so important to the church and to the government. Because when you sign that marriage license, what you do is you sign God out of your marriage and you sign the government into your marriage. That's why, and that's why it doesn't matter. Gays get the same marriage license that straight people do. But these Christians are like, oh, you got to go get a marriage license. Yeah, okay. Go get a gay marriage license. See, like, do you think God honors a straight marriage license any more or less than he honors a gay marriage license? It's the same piece of paper. So how does it different? How does it make a difference to God? Right? Is God up in heaven trying to like, okay, well, they're straight and they're gay, so this marriage is okay and this marriage is not okay? I know God doesn't exist in the realm of time, but just for my human brain, God doesn't have time for that. God's not up in heaven dividing gay people from straight people based on your marriage license. If you got a marriage license, you go in the fire with the gays because you signed God out of your life and you signed the government, your new God, your little demigod, into your life. You said, you know what, God, I don't want you in my marriage. Just like the Israelites told, who did they tell? Joshua, give us a king so we can be like the other people. We want to be like everybody else. Give us a king. We demand a king over us. And God said, okay, but he's going to oppress you. You're going to suffer. I'm going to give you what you want, but you're going to feel the pain of it. It's going to hurt. You're not going to like it. That's why if it was something good, I would have gave it to you already. God's not keeping back good stuff from us any more than you hide good stuff from your kids. Unless it's like a present you want to surprise them with later. But normally, even when parents buy stuff for their kids, they don't hide it from them for too long, right? You buy something for your kids. I almost bought something yesterday. I was going to buy this bow and arrow thing that I wanted to play with. You know you want to play with your kids' toys. That's why you let them open their toys before Christmas, because you want to play with them too. All right, God is good. Praise the Lord.
All them kids at that school, snotty, dirty, look stupid. I was like, damn, do they care about their kids coming up in here?
She said all the kids at the school her daughter goes to, and her son, I believe,
yes,
look dirty.
Yes, all kids have snotty noses. That's perfectly normal.
Fat and stupid. What do the children have to do with this? And this is what I talk about right here. You women are going off online and you don't know who's watching. You don't know who at that school may be watching your channel. And you can make things much worse, whether you send your daughter back there or not.
Let me read that comment. What'd you say, bro? I never been married. I'm middle-aged. I'm luck in the new world, but didn't grow up in family home like that. Yeah, good state. Well, I mean, you can have a biblical marriage. You've probably been biblically married unless you're a virgin. But don't get that state marriage license.
Not. You could be making things much worse for yourself in life because now you're turning this into a white thing. Has nothing to do with racism. Let me tell y'all something right now. Black people sometimes will say,
Yeah, kids have boogers. It don't matter what color they are. White kids have boogers. Black kids have boogers. Brown kids have boogers. Yellow kids have boogers.
sell you out.
Sometimes I have boogers.
Everybody that's black isn't your friend. Stop blaming white people for everything that
We all have boogers. It's a human thing, right? Boogers are for people, not for races. There's not certain races that don't have boogers.
you go to, unless that school is all white and you know for a fact that it's somebody from that school, then go ahead and call out all the white people you want at that school. But if that school has a couple of specks of black people in it that your daughter goes to, you can't sit up here and blame white people for calling in CPS if they did on your.
And it wasn't the people. It wasn't the parents of the school. It was the school. The teacher or the nurse or the principal, probably like a multiple, all the leadership in the school saw your daughter coming to school with dirty clothes, soiled underwear because you didn't even change her diaper because she's a quadriplegic. So I'm pretty sure the nurse, the teacher, the principals, the secretary, they all got together and they probably agreed, hey, we got to call CPS because this mom's not taking care of her kid. Also, this is a special case because the child is handicapped. If the child hadn't been handicapped, they might have kind of like just talked to the mom first and said, hey, can you clean your kid up a little bit? So I think that's the main reason why they called CPS, because the child is handicapped. Because, I mean, having a dirty kid, a sick kid, that might be bad parenting, but that's not something that can't be kind of like, you just talk to the parents and be like, hey, get your shit together, take care of your kid, And then if it happens again, then you call CPS.
Your daughter. Sometimes black people will do the same thing to you. Some of these black people that come online, they act like they don't have issues with black people. Like everybody that they know that's black, they're goody with.
Yeah.
Like they won't sell you out at the drop of a dime. But y'all keep up.
There's a lot of white people. I don't like all these pasty white beta male pastors talking about happy wife, happy life and their sexless marriages with their side pieces, trying to tell me I'm a loser for playing video games. Well, I mean, I'm getting laid on a regular basis. I don't have to wait once a year, pastor. I don't have to wait for a special once a year birthday sex. So I don't know. Who's the loser? The guy who gets laid once a year or the guy who gets laid every day? Pastor.
Y'all keep on living in the Lulu land.
The Lulu land.
Okay, so I read you the allegations. You can address those allegations and I'm ready.
My son takes my baby outside because I got other kids to get ready. But I'll be in the door watching.
Dang, how many kids?
White ass bus drivers. So for them to say
now they're white ass bus drivers.
He's my oldest child, so of course he don't help me out when needs to. I can't leave a baby in here at a high chair or sitting on the couch to run a ride to the bus in a nightgown.
So you will watch?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the bus come right here.
Oh, right here.
Yes. Ain't like they got to go around. I can't.
Who is the guy narrating on the side? Is that your boyfriend? Is that the grandfather? If the little boy is his size, won't the grown man walk the little girl and your son outside and wait at the bus stop?
Yeah, Pookie.
I don't know for sure.
Pookie can't take him.
That's your boyfriend and he's staying in your place.
Pookie can't take him. Dang, he could clap your cheeks, but he can't take your kid like down to the end of the driveway to pick up for the bus to pick him up for school. I mean, dang. I would. I wouldn't even consider that simping. I'm like, dang, that's just being a nice human being. Be like, dang, I just clapped your mom's cheek, so want me to walk you to school? Seems like not that big a deal, considering you just got balls deep in his mom's cheeks. Might as well take the kid to school. Come on, guys. You guys got to do better. You got to do better. It's not about simping. It's about being a good human being. Take the damn kid to school. Especially after he done busted a nut and made another little bastard kid inside his mom. That's the least you could do for him.
Why don't you tell him to get up and help you out and walk your kids downstairs? I'm just saying, if that is your boyfriend, I don't know for a fact, but he's doing all this narrating.
Because it's not her boyfriend. That's just her cheek clapper. Because a boyfriend will probably take your bastard kids to school. A cheek clapper, nah, he ain't getting off the couch for nothing but clapping cheeks.
What's going on? So why don't he walk his happy ass outside with the 2 children? Because stuff, somebody abducting your kids can happen in an instant. People don't think about that. They think life is rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
That stuff can happen in an instant.
Yeah. Yeah. You already got CPS legally trying to kidnap your kids up in your house. But what about the people who do it illegally? That's even worse, because those are for sure predators. At least with CPS, you got a 50-50 chance of them, getting a good home. Some rich white people. On all these white people she's talking about, by the way. What was that movie called? Blindside? With Sandra Bullock and the black kid who played football. It was a true story. And that was just the one they made a movie about. All these so-called white people who are calling the CPS on you because, God forbid, they're worried about your child. As if they don't have their own children to worry about. Those white people, those are the ones you want adopting your kids after CPS kidnaps them. You don't want them being adopted by P. Diddy. Is that what you want? You want CPS to come kidnap your kids and then sell them to P. Diddy? No, you want CPS to kidnap your kids and sell them to a nice white family that doesn't have a, red room in their house and a, basement full of baby oil. Yeah. I'm just saying, if I was black, that's what I would be thinking. Maybe it's easy because I'm not black to think about that, but if I was black, I'd be like, I really hope CPS finds a nice white family for my kids. I really do. Hope he grows up and becomes a successful football star. Hope they buy him all the football equipment he needs. Hope they get him like some really good coaches, goes to college, comes back rich. I mean, don't you want the best for your kids? If being with a white couple is better than being with a black couple, I'm not saying maybe they could find a rich black couple for them, but I just feel like that would be like a little bit more harder for CPS. But like CPS don't really care. CPS isn't trying to match your kid up with a decent home. They're just taking whoever's willing to pay. They don't care. Have your family roots of Europe? Poland, I think. Poland, yeah. I'm Polish.
Keep on trying to they'll see these kids coming out here continuously, these predators and weirdos out here. Next thing you know, you're missing a kid.
Yep.
Because of your negligence.
Yep.
Visibly see them. And anytime I don't go to the door, guess where I'm at? Earl window is right there. I'm right in the window with the window open, watching them. I can't stand people. Just like when the doctor called CPS on me because I ain't moved fast enough. Like, girl.
Dang, the doctor called CPS on her too.
From MABW straight to you.
So the school and the doctor called CPS on her. No wonder CPS showed up at her house. They're getting so many calls they can't even ignore it. They wanted to ignore this. They hung up the phone like 3 times. It was still ringing. Damn it. I guess we got to answer this. It might be important. They ignored the first one. The doctor called. They're like, nah, it's just the doctor. He's overreacting. He's a doctor. They overreact sometimes. He's a doctor. The school called. Damn it, now the school's calling? Shit. I guess we better go check it out. We better go check it out. All right, guys, I got to go to work. We're going to have to finish this like tomorrow maybe. All right, MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines, signing out. See you guys next time.